little minute. Whatever. My hair, I don't love my hair today. I just washed and blow dried it, but there's a lot of humidity in the hair and it just isn't doing what I want it to do. I'm not loving this angle. I don't know what button I just pushed, but it made me look a little bit better. Fuck it. Divine protection, all right? Divine protection. This is what it is. So let me get cooking. About 2 weeks ago, I went into work. I work at a church, and I was doing my thing. I was minding my business. I was cleaning. That's what I do. And I went to go change the song on the station. I had been preparing to go wash the windows on the outside. So I had unlocked the door, went to go change the station, and then I hear the door open. Somebody walked in. It was this random guy I've never seen before, and he was saying, "Is this the church?" And I and said the name of the church. I'm like, "Yeah, it is." And he acted like he was a former member, and then he requested to use the electricity to charge his phone. So I was like, "Sure, no problem." And he left and came back. He had to go get his charger or whatever. Fine. He was gone like 10 minutes or so. I was washing the windows by the time he got back, and he comes in to use the electricity, no problem. Things started to get really weird. He started to tell me how beautiful I was, and that he was interested in getting to know me like that. And I started getting him talking, right? Because I'm, my mind is thinking he's safe. He's a member of the church. If I get him talking, I'll learn more about what he needs and how I can be helpful, because I'm a helping person. I want to be of service. So I'm trying to get him talking and get to know a little bit about him. And things are just getting consecutively weirder and weirder and weirder. He tries to write down my name. He tries to write down my number. He's just acting weird, and he can't complete any information about himself. He only wrote his area code and his email address. To this day, I've researched this email address, and it turns out it's not even his, it's somebody else's. Whatever, everybody. I'm talking about this weird guy that came into work. Divine protection. This guy came to work at the end of the day, at the very end of the day, once I kicked his ass out, I found razor blades and a glove and a blunt, a Black and Mild, and a lighter. I also found, stashed in the bathroom, a fairly large, like 4-shot bottle of Fireball whiskey that was empty. He had come into my work, which is at a church where I was cleaning, and right now I'm just telling a story. Rishi. I'm just telling a story right now. I'm in the middle of doing some house chores. I just went on a hike and I have laundry to do. So, but I wanted to stop and tell the story because it's been on my mind that divine protection, right? You have no idea the types of things that could be coming to harm you and you're being protected from. Okay. So I'm in California, California, USA. So at work, things were getting consecutively strange. It was just me and him in the building. I tend to work by myself. Not anymore, but I was working by myself at the time. And he kept getting sweaty and stuttery and really insistent, and tried to, like, basically get validation from me. He wanted to hear that he was a good person, that I thought he was attractive or something. And he just kept getting more and more desperate to hear something positive. At one point, I got really very, very, very uncomfortable and noticed his phone wasn't even on the charger like he said he was going to try to use the whole thing. So that was the whole premise of him being in the building with me, was to charge his phone, and he wasn't doing it. So then I realized he had ulterior motives, and called, like, I texted my boss quietly and had her come to the building. And when she got there is right about when I found the alcohol bottle. And I confronted him and asked him to leave right as she was on the phone with the cops. So I got really lucky because I was in the building with him about 45 minutes all by myself. My nickname? My nickname, I have many names. This happened about 2 weeks ago, and I've had a lot of emotional adjustments. Thank you for asking if I'm feeling better. That's debatable. I don't like the idea that I feel unsafe in this world. I don't like that I feel like, as a woman, I have one more person to be afraid of. But in general, I'm okay. He never touched me, It's more of a thing of being sort of nervous to go to work, nervous to complete the tasks that I have to do daily, and wondering if I'm safe. It's the innocence being taken of being able to function in a daily life, to the concept of that. So I have to rely on the fact that psychologically that I was protected in the first place. The man never touched me, although he clearly wanted to. He had alcohol, a lot that could get him very drunk. Not just a little drunk, but a very big drunk. He had weapons and gloves. Like, there was no good intent for him to be in that building with me after lying to get in the first place. I didn't know what his motive was. I was being innocent and meeting him just on that premise. Do you know? I know, what is the Jammu and Kashmir incident? I am in the USA, so I don't know what this incident was. But I am interested in hearing about world events. I do care. I do really appreciate the Indian culture. So I'm sorry to hear something happened, but I would love to know more. My nickname, Prakash, you may call me Katie. So, back to my subject. I was minding my own business about the day, and I was divinely protected. I was allowed to be in the same room with somebody who wanted to harm me and have him not be able to reach his goal. Something about the way the gods walk with me, my guides, my ancestors walked with me. They divinely protected me, and I guess what I really want to say, my whole point for sitting here and talking about this is even though it's been a couple weeks, I still feel the effects of this, and it's easy to kind of go into the fear aspect and think like something so much worse could have happened, and something so much worse could have. I've considered getting a conceal carry license at this point, because in California you can carry a gun if you have the protection to do so, the permission. So I've looked into that, and I'm definitely a lot safer than I used to be. We'll put it like that. But spiritually, it's made me more reliant on my belief system. Am I divinely protected or not? How am I going to bank on that when I walk outside of the house? I feel more alive. I feel more aware of my surroundings, because this man clearly didn't have my best interest in mind. It's so dumb, because this man who had razor blades and stuff at my work was the last person to ask me for my phone number in the last 3 years. And that's pretty fucking sad. But it made me fully fucking aware of what not to take for granted and how glad and lucky and blessed I am to be alive in general. So I guess in a way, I just really needed to talk about this and finally get it off my chest that, you know, I'm a Venus retrograde person. I have natal Venus retrograde conjunct Mercury retrograde in my chart, and there is a higher likelihood, excuse the yawn, a higher likelihood of physical violent domestic violence happening to Venus retrograde people. There's more likelihood that we're going to be sexually assaulted, which I have been in the past. There's more incidents of attacks in general, sexual or otherwise. And it really woke me up that I'm not in a bubble all by myself. Like, I am in a bubble with spirit, and spirit is always with me, and spirit's always riding with me. That's the only reason why I walk around this planet safe. So, being divinely protected at all times, asking for help, making sure you're shoring up your spiritual senses as you're doing readings for people or being a psychic helper for people is all important. You will have either spiritual attachments or physical attacks. Either way, you have to make sure your spiritual alignment is in the right place. You will lose yourself mentally or physically if you do not first align yourself with spirit. Anything can happen to you. What is going on in USA about marriage life? I don't know. I don't know what in general for the whole country what marriage life is like. I do know that the people that are single are having an extremely hard time finding other people that are mature enough to be in relationships. In the USA, we have a big big epidemic of men not wanting to act like men, and there's a lot of women that feel left out when it comes to we just want to be girls. We just want to be girls. We just want to have our femininity celebrated. We want to be protected, and we want to meet somebody that wants to play the role of the masculine. So that is what's generally going on in the United States right now. Is there's this big hunger for a stronger masculine type that's not performative. It's better single life or marriage life. I think they both have their benefits, Rishi. I think they both have their benefits. But I think it's worse to be with somebody that makes you feel alone. I think it's worse to be in bed with somebody that makes you feel alone. I think it's worse to be married to somebody that makes you feel alone, isolated, hurt. I think all of that's worse than being single and feeling those things in and of itself. I would rather be single, feeling lonely, feeling hurt, all those things, because I can comfort myself. But if I'm in the room with somebody, or if I'm in a relationship with somebody that treats me badly, it feels a lot worse than having to take care of it all by myself. You know what I mean? So I can only answer for me. Being with somebody that sees you, accepts you, recognizes what is special inside of you, even on a bad day, somebody that wants to spend time with you, all these things are beautiful. and so necessary. But if it's going to go south, I'd rather be alone. Yeah, I've had bad experiences in relationship too. I think having things like, a possible attack at work is not going to make it a lot easier to be trusting of men. I'm straight. I'm not gay. So I am interested in the opposite sex. And so this whole thing makes me a lot more scared to date, to meet people off the internet, like try to meet new singles. It's very, very nerve-wracking at this point. So, that's the truth of it. It does affect you in other ways when something like this happens. But again, I'm circling back to the fact that he had all of these plans for me. He had razor blades, he had gloves, he had this, he had that. He had plans for me and he didn't hurt me. So I have all my guides, my God, my angels, my ancestors to thank for the divine protection. I will never take that for granted ever again. I'm sure I was taking it for granted before. Like, things just don't happen to me, but things can. I'm feeling so grateful for the experience. Well, I don't know what that means. I am interested in movies, plural. Like, movies are cool. I like watching Bollywood movies more than I like watching USA movies. I like the plot lines better. I like how you guys tell stories. So that's true for sure. All right, so I've said all I needed to say. Always, I'm just going to reiterate, always pray for protection. Always align yourself with God. And you will be protected in ways you have no idea. Like, you will be put in this holy bubble of divine protection. You will have no idea the types of things that are getting pushed away from your auric field. You have no idea the kind of things that you will never come in contact with because of spiritual protection already being in place. So if you're blessed, if you're lucky, you'll never have an experience like this where you have to get slapped and woken up, that you could be somebody else's prey at any given second. So just give thanks and stay aligned is all I gotta say, because protection is real. Okay, what I'm gonna read this. Maximum girls are available on Instagram and Facebook. They have many opportunities for better life partner. Maximum. Well, that's debatable. There's lots of people everywhere. Like, people can be. It's like this whole thing with how you find people nowadays. It can give you the idea that people are disposable because there is so many other people. Oops. So it's easier to be ghosted at this day and age too, at the same time, because people are always thinking there's somebody else around the corner, so why bother? So it's all the same. Anyway, I'm gonna get going. I appreciate your saying hello, guys. Please take care. Stay aligned, stay healthy, stay safe, and really, the first time your gut goes off about something or someone, do your best to get out of that situation. And if you can't leave, or you feel stuck with somebody who might be a predator, keep them talking until you can find your way out of the situation. Try to humanize them as much as possible, get them to talk about their past their, their childhood if you can. Do whatever you can until you get into another safe zone. It's dangerous out there. And there's literal people who are absolutely crazy and will just decide to do whatever the fuck they want. So, I wanted to say thank you to my guides while I'm sitting here. Thank you for protecting me. Whew, okay, I'm out. I'm single at this moment. I am single. I do take care of my father, though, so you could call me a family woman. In a way. Anyway, that is it for now. 20 minutes long is good. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now. I'll be back.